Psychological disorders are some of the most challenging disorders to diagnose and study. When characterizing and studying mental illness, the professionals involved are required to distinguish between what is normal and what is considered to be abnormal, and defining abnormality can be difficult within the psychological community.
The agreed upon definition of abnormal behavior is any pattern of behavior that causes people significant distress, causes harm to themselves or to others, and or harms the ability of that person to function in daily life.
These abnormal behaviors are then grouped into various forms of psychological disorders. It is essential to note that abnormal behaviors are not always black and white. Psychological disorders can present themselves in a variety of ways, whether they be mild, moderate, or severe, as well as differing in presentation from patient to patient. Roughly 1 in 4 adults suffer from some kind of mental illness. And although there have been advancements in the scientific community to lessen the effects of some disorders, there are some ailments that cannot be fixed with medications. Today, I'm going to focus on 3 categories of psychological disorders that do not always have a medical fix. Dissociative disorders.
Dissociative disorders are mental disorders in which people will experience a break in their conscious awareness, experiencing a disconnection between their thoughts, surroundings, actions, events, a loss of memories, and even a disconnection in their sense of identity.
Disassociating is usually associated with repression to enable the person to escape reality in involuntary and unhealthy ways as a way of dealing with stress or trauma. One example is dissociative identity disorder, otherwise known as DID. People who suffer from DID appear to possess 2 or more distinct personality characteristics. Quite oftentimes, the core personality has no idea about the other personalities. The other personalities are even sometimes aware of one another, such as their character traits or actions they've committed. The person often won't remember the actions committed by another personality, nor even share the same ideals as them. Usually, these multiple personalities are developed from a traumatic event, and so the unconscious creates a personality that did not experience the event to repress those memories. The typical method of treatment is talk therapy to help encourage the patients to move past their trauma, therefore extinguishing the unconscious's need for the additional personalities. This appears to be the most effective system in reducing DID symptoms. However, it is not a solid fix for the ailment. Here's an example of DID being represented in Hollywood film.
Please keep your area neat. The bathroom, it's unacceptable. Make it easy. I've color-coded these. Use a blue bottle for the floor and the pink bottle for the ceramic surfaces. Yeah.
I have your meal, sleepyhead. Eat. It's good. It's got paprika in it. I'm sorry.
My name's Hedwig. He's on the move.
What? Who?
Someone's coming for you, and you're not gonna like it. You guys make noises in your sleep.
Tell us.
I'm not supposed to say. But he's done awful things to people, and he'll do awful things to you. I have blue socks, too.
Where's food? How old are you?
9?
So you're not the guy that took us.
No?
You're not the lady.
What are you, blind?
Next is somatoform disorders.
Somatoform disorders are psychological disorders that take the forms of bodily illnesses or symptoms, but there is no physical disorder that the person is struggling from. Oftentimes, there is no medical diagnosis for this person either.
Treatment is typically focused on improving daily functions rather than treating actual symptoms, because these symptoms do not usually have a medical diagnosis or physical cause. The most common causes of somatoform disorders are extreme stress, and so treatment can involve antidepressants and psychotherapy to help with stress reduction. But ultimately, there is no cure for somatoform disorders. One example is called conversion disorder, in which someone begins experiencing symptoms of the somatic nervous system that cannot be explained by medical evaluations. People can suddenly wake up one day and suffer from numbness, blindness, impairment or loss of speech, and even paralysis. Conversion disorder is extremely rare, and in most cases has happened in conjunction with other psychological disorders, such as extreme stress, emotional trauma, or severe depression. It is the body's way of reacting to something it perceives as a threat, and these physical symptoms may occur as a way to try and resolve or relieve whatever is causing the person extreme mental stress. This ailment has no cure, and people who suffer from it either regain their abilities over time through physical therapy or never regain their abilities at all. Here is a video further explaining conversion disorder.
Conversion disorder, CD, is a diagnostic category previously used in some psychiatric classification systems. It is sometimes applied to patients who present with neurological symptoms, such as numbness, blindness, paralysis, or fits, which are not consistent with a well-established organic cause, and which cause significant distress. It is thought that these symptoms arise in response to stressful situations affecting a patient's mental health or an ongoing mental health condition such as depression.
Lastly, we're going to talk about personality disorders.
Personality disorders are a type of mental disorder in which a person will adopt persistent, rigid, maladaptive patterns of behavior, functioning, and thinking that interfere with social interactions.
People who suffer from these kinds of disorders often have trouble perceiving and relating to situations and other people, all while having little sense of distress from their disorder, meaning that oftentimes these people can lead seemingly normal lives, unconcerned with their ailments. Although there is no cure for these ailments, some medications can be offered to help balance and reduce symptoms to allow for daily functioning. One example is antisocial personality disorder, otherwise known as sociopathic. Sociopaths are characterized as having no morals, consciousness, or regard for other people. These people are often impulsive and act with no regard to the consequences, pathological liars who will break the laws without concern of their safety or the safety of others. Sociopaths, despite their lack of morals, can be extremely high functioning, intelligent, charming, and even appear to have excellent social skills. But in reality, these people are deceitful, respectless, remorseless, and will use and abuse anyone to get what they want. Perhaps one of the most famous sociopaths was the murderer Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was attractive, charming, and a charismatic individual who was able to lure women using his excellent social skills. He was so well liked that he was able to get away with these murders for quite some time because no one believed he could be committing the horrendous crimes of which he was accused. There is no cure for antisocial personality disorder. Treatment typically includes talk therapy and support for those affected by the sociopath. Here is a video of a man who displays antisocial personality disorder symptoms, such as narcissism, remorselessness, and pathological lying.
She says you were recently in jail for a few days. You care to elaborate on that?
That shit was stupid. I got arrested for stealing a CD, but I didn't even steal anything. You know, I never even tried to walk out of the store.
Then why were you accused of stealing?
Well, security guy said he saw me put something in my jacket, you know, which I did, but I was only doing it to kind of hold it until I was done paying for whatever else I had. And I forgot about it and went to the bathroom, and he followed me in. Said I was stealing.
Well, typically, wouldn't you be arrested if it was your second or third offense?
Well, that's what they said, but a couple years ago I got accused of stealing a bicycle. And then last year I got accused of stealing a belt from somewhere. But I wasn't even stealing anything, I was just trying on the belt. And I put it on and forgot it was on, so when I tried to leave after I paid for everything else, they pulled me over again and caught me for stealing. Stupid. I never even tried to steal anything, so.
Psychological disorders are vast, and there is still so much we do not understand about the causes and treatments for these mental illnesses. As we progress in science and learn more about our brains and their functioning, hopefully we can find ways to help those who suffer from these illnesses so they can function in daily life.